Welcome back, everyone. How did you get on rearing your very own brine shrimps? Well, it's about 2 weeks since I put the eggs into the water in this jam jar. And look, I've got about 10 brine shrimps swimming around. My brine shrimps are about, 10, 12 millimeters large. Maybe this one's a little bit bigger. But they can get even larger than that. Some of them can even get to about 18 millimeters in length. They're really amazing, intricate little animals, and it's really fun to look up at them really close in the water and see them swimming around. Could you work out the answer to the questions I posed at the start of this experiment? How do the flamingos survive in the salt lakes, and what do they eat? Well, our little brine shrimps are part of the answer. Well, these amazing little animals are one of the very few multicellular organisms that can survive in salt lakes. They can be really plentiful just simply because there's very few other organisms that can survive in that environment. And the flamingo's favourite food are these little guys, although we probably better not tell them. The flamingo has a very specialised bill that enables it to filter feed thousands of little brine shrimps out of the salt lakes. And in the wild, these guys can actually be bright pink, and it's their pink coloration that can influence the beautiful pink feathers of flamingos. So if you guessed brine shrimps as the food of the flamingos, you were absolutely right. Well, luckily these guys are safe. They're not going to be eaten by any flamingos, and you can have a look at them really close up and see their amazing intricate body structures. If you look really closely, you'll see your brine shrimps swimming around. They often do upside down with all of their tiny limbs flailing. What they're actually doing is filtering the water for algae, for bacteria and tiny food particles. And that's how they get most of their food. You can actually see them feed and watch their tummies become full. If you don't feed them for a day or two, you'll notice the brine shrimps become almost completely clear. But then if you add a little bit of food to your container, I can see it there drifting in. The brine shrimps will quickly eat that, and if you come back in about an hour or so, you'll see their bodies turn black, and that's actually the food within their gut system. So you can see how efficient these little filter feeders are. It's amazing to think of all of the thousands of organisms all around us living their lives silently. Often we don't even notice them, such as these brine shrimps in salt lakes. But equally, if you head out into your garden, there'll be countless earthworms and tiny invertebrates beneath your feet. They break down leaf litter and create the soils that we depend upon, because without those soils, the crops that we eat wouldn't be able to grow. So returning to our salt lakes, it's amazing to think that these beautiful little brine shrimps are the basis for the ecosystem that supports flamingos and other animals. You can keep your culture of brine shrimps growing for many weeks on your windowside in your school classroom. And you might even get multi-generations of brine shrimps as your first generation lays eggs, then those hatch. So keep a lookout for tiny brine shrimps as your culture ages. I really hope that you enjoyed rearing your very own brine shrimps, and thank you for taking part in this experiment.